What's up, guys? It's Lucy, MCG55S, coming at you. I'm a little bit sick. I've got this sinus fucking pressure. My nose is running like fucking Niagara Falls. My throat's kind of going out. So I'm trying to make this quick, short. I want to talk about 20 man versus 10-25, okay? Now, 20 man is not a terrible raid aspect, okay? I'm just saying the reason Blizzard decided to go 20 man is stupid and illogical, all right? They said the tuning in 10-25 was too difficult. You don't tune 10-25 to be equal, first off. Sorry. That is just ignorant. There are two completely different regulars. You cannot tune them to be equal. There are two ways to handle tuning in a 10 and 25 man environment. Two different ways to balance out the actual content. First one is go Wrath of Lich King style, which I'm not a big Wrath of Lich King fan, but the style will work. 10-25 man exists, 25 gets better item level. You try to tune the 5 the best you can, but just maintain the 25 man roster gets you a better reward. People at 10 man can still do heroic, can still do mythic or whatever it was, heroic, mythic, whatever the fuck you want to call it, but they do not get as good a reward as people that do it on 25 man setting. Now, if you want to go cat and mop where you try to give the same item level reward, you need to go to Star Wars The Old Republic setting, in which, if y'all don't know, Star Wars The Old Republic has an 8 and 16 man raids. They state outright, maintaining an 8-man raid will have harder fights than maintaining a 16-man raid. 8-man is more difficult. Why do you ask? They plainly put out, maintaining a roster of 16 people is a challenge in itself, and we feel the guilds that are able to maintain this high-end roster should have a little easier time in the raid mechanics than people that take the shorter route and maintain an 8-man raid. Is that crazy? No. If anybody's trying to maintain a 25-man roster or a 20-man roster, you know the challenges of it. People quitting, especially in this expansion, every fucking day, 10 times a day probably. Not really 10. I'm exaggerating, honestly. But people dropping left and right. The roster's trimmed down, activities down. So why not just do that? 25-man, you're going to get the mechanics will be tuned down a little lower for you than they will be for 10-man. Wow, that's such a hard fix. Especially when you've got the biggest staff you've had working for you ever. You can maintain it back in fucking Wrath of the Lich King, but now, oh, it's too much fucking work. Now, I wish Activision would just have the balls to come out and say what I think they want to say, which is, we don't give a fuck about World of Warcraft right now. I mean, I really don't think they do, honestly. I think they're just trying to milk this cow for as much money as they can get out of it before they end the game. Speaking about in the game, I actually had a very good idea about this as well. I'm going to mention that as well. What if this was the last expansion of WoW? And I'm going to tell you how it would end if it is. My thoughts would be, this would be fucking hilarious too, in my opinion. Would be after the raids are all done, like about, figure another year-long content drought, we find out that the Legion had actually won. We may kill the last thing, but it was all diversion, and the Legion ends up taking over Azeroth. And then Blizzard shuts down the servers. That would... not to mount the amount of rage people would have at that point of the game. I mean, let's just go ahead and state that. The rage of the player base would be on a phenomenal level. But just imagine just how much you would be talked about as World of Warcraft would be in, for the next 20 years in gaming. An MMO shuts itself down and doesn't just go out lightly. It actually concludes the bad guys win, you lose, and that's how your game ends. That would be a hilarious and awesome way to end the game, honestly, in my opinion. I would be mad if it ended at this one, but can you just imagine that if it comes out that, oh, they did summon Sargeras to our world in the end, Sargeras takes over Azeroth, you lose, game over, servers down. That would be some funny shit. But it would get people what they want, and that's what I'm going to go to next. These people about the legacy servers, you would finally get that. Because if Blizzard ever gets to the point where they're afraid the game's not going to rebound or it's going to hurt, that's when they'll introduce a legacy server. That'd be the only way. When they're ready to shut the game down, they'll introduce a legacy server and maybe start a couple of servers over from day one and let them go through from 1 to 60 to BC. Basically redo the whole fucking thing and try to get people continue to buy into it. Do I think that's a smart idea? Yeah, that's a genius idea. That would be the smartest thing money wise to do, because you're not having to make anything then. All you really got to do is take your old content from back then, punch it in, and go. Now will people be unhappy? Yeah, because the druid you're gonna fucking heal. As a shaman, you're gonna fucking heal. As a fucking paladin, you're gonna fucking heal. You know, you really don't do shit else. As a warrior, you're gonna fucking tank. That's really about all you fucking do. You really don't have any other job other than that. Priest, you just heal. I mean, there's just, you really could not play a versatile spec in vanilla. And people wouldn't be upset about that. But that would be the only way I see a legacy server happening, is when Blizzard is to the end where they know they need to shut down. They will announce then, hey, we're at the end of creating WoW. So we're going to, for the players, open a legacy server you can pay to attend or play in, and start over in vanilla. And just start over vanilla all the way up and just redo that shit. I mean, you gotta figure, if they just did a one-time buy-in, just a one-time buy-in, let's say a one-time buy-in of, let's say $30. You know, if you get 1 million people to do that, you get $30 million. Would that not, just financially, does that not sound like a smart thing to do for them? Wait until they're at the end. Then they really don't have to maintain shit. I mean, the servers have already upgraded. They don't really have to update shit. They don't have to really do anything and just release the patches. They've already got saved in the data file somewhere and just fix the game as it goes. Anyway, that's what I see happening. Take care. Peace. Lucy out.